You are late.
It was chiming.
Can't go by that.
Okay,
No, that's late. I mean, that's fast. Right now, I have 8 o'clock on my.
Bye-bye.
You ready to go? Okay, we were ready to begin the Irvington Architecture Review Board. I will call the meeting to order, and I will make my normal announcements that we will start with continuations and revisions first, and then move on to new matters in ascending order. We have been told that 21 on revisions 2021-05 will not be heard tonight. They have not filed any new information, and we will move on to the other revision, which is 2021-98, 50 Half Moon Lane, new house. When it's your turn to present your application, please raise your hand and Sarah will let you in. In addition to that, please announce who you are, and if you're not the applicant, please tell us who you represent.
Good evening. My name is Tassos Kokoris. I'm the architect for this application.
Okay.
May I share my screen?
Yes, please.
This is, as you mentioned, is for 50 Half Moon Lane. We've been before you in the past to gain the original approval from this board for the design of this house. And I was asked by the owners to design some revisions to the approved plan, and we're here to present them to you. I don't want to go through the entire application. I think you've seen it. So I'd like to focus on the revisions that we're proposing.
That's fine.
This is the approved front elevation of the house. And the revision was, if you can see my cursor, had to do with the central window in the tower in the front. We're proposing to replace the arrangement you have here with a less divided window. The owners would really like to have an open view. They have a beautiful front yard as well as a beautiful backyard with a view to the river. So they wanted uninterrupted views of the front and the back. The rear elevation looked like this, and we had discussed when I had originally presented the design to you, we were kind of questioning the shape of this middle element. I didn't think it was quite resolved, and I had mentioned to you, I remember, about creating more of a pediment in this area. The revised elevation does in fact has a pediment, but also we created these again these picture windows here to take advantage of the view over the Hudson River, which is really quite spectacular there. And those are the changes we made. There's a kitchen window, and I can toggle back and forth if you like, but it's basically this window that we changed from a number of divided lights and more traditional motifs to a perhaps less traditional, but a lot more appropriate for the views that we have here. Those are really the two changes, the front elevation, the back elevation. I should also say we had an inspection by the building inspector, and he pointed out that we also made one more change, which I will show you in a minute. Let me share my other screen, and then I will keep quiet so that we can all discuss this. The side elevation, would be the south elevation of the house. This window right here, we elected to eliminate the window because it was causing problems in the layout of the master bath that's located here. So basically removed this window from this elevation. Go back to the presentation. Excuse me. And okay. Sorry about that. Here we are. So I will take any questions you might have, and we can discuss it.
You show the rear elevation again, and
Sure.
then toggle between the old and the new.
Sure. This is the old rear elevation. And this is the new rear elevation.
Right, so the exterior or the farthest right and farthest left windows seem to have changed. They're not divided.
Actually,
They're not-
I apologize. This was a design elevation before the working drawings were completed. I think we could go item by item, but you'll see that from the design elevation to the working drawing elevation, we haven't changed. For example, I have a set of French doors here on the working drawings, and the same French doors. They were just rendered differently because, again, on the preliminary drawings, I draw them by hand. On the working drawings, we're going to CAD. So there's a bit of a difference there visually, but the actual elements are the same with the exception of, I'll point these to you, exception of this window, that window, this gable, the kitchen window, and the master bath window. Everything else has remained as approved.
Okay, and all these changes are on the current set of drawings that are up for revision.
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
The only
Okay.
the only window that I had not pointed out is the one, again, on the side of the master bath, which is here on the south elevation. I thought that was it's completely hidden from view from anywhere, really, so I didn't show that. But the building inspector indicated I needed to point that out to you.
Okay. All right, that works for me. I took a lot of time to try to find any other changes and couldn't. So I will ask the rest of the board members to chime in if they have anything to add.
No, looks good to me.
It's fine.
Okay, I will then make a motion to approve the application. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you very much.
Well, I thank you very much. My client will be very happy. Thank you.
Right on.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Let me run a second now. Count on. Why should Michael have one? Okay. Moving on, we can go now to the new matters. We will start with ARB 2023-60, 60 North Astor Street, sign. Nobody?
Start video. Good evening.
Hello.
My name is Michael Lang. I am the owner of Signorama in Hartsdale, the sign company representing Katharina Medina, the owner of Aesthetics by KM at 16 North Astor Street.
Would you be able to share? Are you trying to share your?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Give me just a second to pick the right window. I think that should be it. Okay, I have to move something around in order to move. Okay. Apologies, but
No problem. You have to zoom out.
do that next. Can you see the full page now?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. 16 North Astor, I think it's called Retail 1. I have pictures of the neighboring locations. We are proposing a sign which is made out of dimensional acrylic letters in white. I mean, you see the picture just describing or the business name Aesthetics by KM. The letters are about 8¼ inch high. The overall length or width of this sign is about 115 inches. The letters you see in the lower left area here are flush mount. In other words, pins in the back will be mounted into the facade. No standoffs. On the next page, I guess I have pictures of the left and the right, and the opposite, obviously the station. So you see here to the right, to the left, and this should say view to the right. Relatively straightforward. Yeah, you don't need my insurances. So in essence, flat cut acrylic letters in white, mounted flush mount to the facade.
Okay, well, I saw your worksheet, so I know that you conform to the code as far as the size of the sign on the facade of the building.
Yes,
I have personally no issues with it, but I will ask the board members if they have any issues.
of course.
No.
No issues.
Okay. All right, with no other issues coming up, I would make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you and have a good night.
You too. Okay, moving along, we will go to ARB 23-61. 24 Richmond Hill. It's a window.
You saw my bird. Good
Yeah.
evening, everyone. My name is Julie Hanselman Davies. I am a principal at Thiel Architecture and Design, representing our clients in their application tonight for their new home at 24 Richmond Hill. And let me just very quickly orient you. As you know, Richmond Hill is this conclave of semi-detached townhomes just off of Broadway, and their home is at the top end of that. And the matters before you tonight are in the rear elevation of that townhome, and so it faces this very large ravine and wooded area. Our application involves two changes to the rear facade. Let me give you a better look while we're here of the facade as it is today. Our first application is to change this basement window into an egress window. Our clients, although not compelled by law, they asked us to add an additional fire egress from their basement. And the second part of the application is to take this slider and replace it with a wider slider. So it's now 6 feet wide. We'd like to replace it with an 8 foot wide slider of the same make, just to increase the amount of sunlight in that part of their home. So let me just tell you what we've done. So here's the existing elevation of that rear. Here's the existing window and the existing slider. We're proposing to add a window well and just keep the window header exactly where it is and just make the window taller to the required maximum. Sorry, give me a second. Here's the window well and plan to, it's all to code. And then here's the interior view of that window with the maximum 44 inches from the finished floor for the escape. And just anecdotally, it has been approved by the Richmond Hill HOA.
That's my only question.
Okay, I don't have evidence of it, but the we didn't come to you until we had the HOA's approval. So,
Okay.
any other
Well,
questions?
No, the only thing that I saw, that my only question was, additional permission, so I will defer to the other board members to see if they have any issues or questions.
Okay,
Looks
No.
fine.
Andy?
No, no questions.
All right. On that note, I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great, thank you.
brilliant. Thank you for your volunteer work. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Night. Okay, moving on, 23-62, 66 Riverview Road. A fence.
Good evening, everybody. My name is James O'Callaghan. I'm the owner and applicant at 66 Riverview Road in Irvington. I'll just try and share my screen with you with the application. Can everybody see my screen now?
We see it.
Yep. Basically, we moved in about a year ago. We have two small boys and a dog, and we wanted to put a fence in to prevent them, all three of them really, running out onto the road. So we decided, basically looking around at similar fencing in the area, to go with black aluminium fencing at the front of the property and the west side, which I can show you on the survey in a moment, and then black deer fencing along the rear, the south side of the property, all of which I believe to be within the various building codes. I would like to apologize to the board. It's no real excuse, but we actually proceeded to have the work done based on bad advice from our contractor, and hope going through the application process we can take the necessary steps to make that right. And I hope you'll see through the application that we have tried to be quite careful in putting in a fence that's in keeping with the village aesthetic. So if I scroll down to the survey, including the application, you can see the location of the fence. So on the side, the red line is a 4-foot black aluminium fence drawn on some single gates on both the north side and the west side for access, and then there's a double gate down here next to the driveway, which is for access to landscaping contractors. The green line along the back is along the rear of our property on the south side, and this is 6-foot black coated standard deer fencing with 6-foot posts. These are black posts which match the posts, but obviously, slightly taller than the 4-foot posts in the aluminium fencing. And on the east side, it joins our neighbor at 66 Riverview Road. He has had some previously put in chain link fence, so obviously we didn't put any more fencing in on that side. To show you some images of the fence that's been installed. This is the fencing along the northeast side of the property. So we're behind the trees, sort of reducing visibility on the street. This kind of continues along. Here's an image of a single gate for access at the front of the property to the side of our house on the northeast side. I've got a couple of more. Here's the double gate next to the driveway, and this sort of runs along the rest of the north side. There's another single gate by the driveway, so there's a number of single gates, double gate. Here's the west side. We've sort of come in a good yard or so on that side of the property, but it sort of runs along just inside the edge of our property there. And then on this, oh, there's a single gate, again, west side of the property. Here's some pictures of the deer fencing along the rear. As you can see, you've got the fence. So it's kind of hard to see the deer fencing in this, but it's identical to what the deer fencing in the area looking around. Got one gate within the deer fence, which is the same style as the 4-foot aluminium black fencing that runs around the other side of the property. You can actually see the deer fencing, the coated woven fence there. Some pictures of the adjoining properties. So Bill and Felicia on the west side, and JF and Susan on the right side. And anecdotally, we're in good communication with both these neighbours on the adjoining properties. They've been very positive in their feedback about the fence. We've raised no issues with us about it. Likewise, we have some neighbours facing us, including the Mayor, Brian Smith, and his wife, who also were very happy with the fence. And then finally, I've just included a few images of similar fencing. There's identical fencing for aluminium fencing already on Riverview, identical deer fencing. You can already see it there hidden in the bushes. And then interestingly, the station fencing is in the same style as well. So I just thought I'd show a few images to show you that this isn't a unique style to our property. But at that point, yeah, I'd like to hand it back to you guys, and if there's any questions you guys have for us.
Well, you did most of our work for us. Normally, I ask where the gates are and how big they are, and you've done a good job of illustrating on the sketch where they are and how many there are. So at this point, I have no other issues with the fence. I will ask the rest of my board whether they have issues or concerns.
No, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think you made a good choice of the fence. Looks good.
I agree.
Thank you. I
Okay.
think I might be inspired by your station fencing. I commute in a couple of days a week. So.
Well, don't go by that, because the village doesn't need our permission to put up fencing. So
Oh, really?
do as I say, not as I do. But no, we're good with it. I would make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're good to go.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
You're welcome. You too. Okay, we have another fence here, ARB 23-63, 1 Cindy Lane, and it's also a fence.
Hi, I don't know if we hit the right or the wrong button, but
You're here.
we're here. All right, we'll take it. Hi, we are also similarly applying for a fence. Unfortunately and unapologetically, following advice of bad advice of contractors, we did not get a permit because we did not think we needed one, because we were replacing a fence that was damaged with a fence in the exact same location at the exact same height for the exact same distance, but a nicer version. The old fence, and I have pictures of it, was a one-sided picket fence, and we upgraded to one that looked the same and looked nice on both sides, with the approval of our neighbors who were supportive of the change. The fence was falling down and was a hazard, frankly.
Why don't you show us what you've done?
Sure. So this is, can you see that? If I, or no, I have to share. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll share my screen. I apologize.
You see the share button?
I do.
It's usually down the bottom.
Yeah, I do, but it's, I apologize.
Not working?
I'm getting a thing to tell me to, I use Zoom all the time at work. I'm getting an option for Dropbox or Microsoft OneDrive or Google Drive. Oh, desktop, I apologize. I'll open system.
There you have the ability to open.
Let me try that again. This is the old fence.
Okay,
And you can see on the right side, it's falling down and there's spaces and holes in it. Got another picture of the old fence you can see. Let me see if I can share a different screen now. You can see on this that it's fallen down on the side. And the new fence is
Same footprint.
same footprint. And that's the style of the new fence. It's in the same location, the same length, same height, but a nicer quality fence.
okay. Well, you picked up on the one question that I had about one-sided or two-sided, and you've been very kind to your neighbors. We appreciate that, and with that, I had no other issues. I will ask the board members if they had any issues.
No.
No.
Okay, so I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate your work. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Moving along, 23-64, 57 Butterwood Lane West, exterior elevation change.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can see you too.
Okay, great. I'm sharing our plans.
Great.
So we're presenting tonight to replace the materials in our existing front step walkway and also to replace the materials in our existing deck. I'm happy to sort of zoom in so you can see a little bit more. These are our steps now. This area, these are all wood steps and the wood is deteriorating. And so we are planning to replace those steps with stone. We're currently looking at using a thermal bluestone. And then up here, where you can see the existing stucco and stone steps, we're also going to probably replace these with new treads as well because they're not in great condition.
Okay.
And you can just see here, just the drawing of where the walkway is. And then here for our deck, same thing. It's currently wood, it's currently deteriorating. And so we are going to use, one of the synthetic composite materials to replace it. And then we're going to do a black aluminum railing with a similar style drink rail on top. That'll be the same material as the deck.
No idea on what material that is going to be though.
Oh, it's the composite PVC material from TimberTech.
The railing is what material?
The railing is going to be aluminum with the same topper that's used for the deck material.
Okay, TimberTech. And so that sketch there is what the railing is going to look like, the new railing? As
Correct.
opposed to
So this sketch shows it, and this is an example of the aluminum, and the only difference will be that the top will just be finished in the same wood material as the deck itself.
same non-wood material.
Correct, sorry.
It's all right. Okay. Once again, not a big project, very little can go wrong here. So I had no other issues other than knowing what the manufacturer, the type of materials you were going to use on the deck, and you have since told us it's timber deck.
Yeah.
At this point, I have no other questions. I will ask the rest of the board if there's any other issues.
No.
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 Okay, on that note, I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you very much.
Thanks, good night.
You.
Okay, thank you. And last but not least, 23-65, 30 South Ferris Street, solar.
You video. So sorry, hit the wrong button. Hi, Kelly Polito for Trinity Solar to propose a roof mounted solar array that we want to install at 30 South Ferris Street. So let me just share my screen. Hang on 1 second. Let's go here. Share. Get over here. Present. Thank you. Move that back. Okay, so what we're proposing, there we go. So what we're proposing is a 18 panel system, black on black panels. I do apologize. Every time we're at an ARB, we obviously do not want to install on the front roof that faces the street. However, as you can see, the way the house is situated, there's no other way to do it because it's all, it's facing the south area. So we have 3 different arrays on 3 different roof surfaces, all following code. It's black on black panels. And the 3rd page shows you the electrical diagram of how we're going to tie into the existing electrical system.
How are you getting from the roof to the controls down below?
We will do conduit. We don't typically diagram that out in the beginning. I do apologize. Depends on when we get there. We find the best path. When we're there, our crew lead will discuss it with the homeowner. The homeowner agrees with it, signs off on the plans before we do any work. If we can keep everything inside, the goal is to go through the attic for everything. So there's as minimal piping outside the house as possible.
Which array is facing the front?
This one, R4
Okay,
and R5. This is the front of the house and this is the rear of the house.
so the
But it is a
R5
perfectly symmetrical system, I must say.
R5 is facing front of the house or back of the house? I can't tell by the roof line.
Yeah, but that's because it's sideways. So actually R4 is facing the front and R5 is also facing the front. Hang on a second. I don't have a picture of the home.
An
do I?
elevated photo or?
No, I was gonna, let me ask you something. Would you like us to do this? This is our 2nd time installing in Irvington. Is this something we should do moving forward? We usually do superimpose panels on the home so you can see what it would look like from the street when it's facing the street.
That's pretty much required by us usually. Because I know this street pretty well, I don't necessarily think. But you don't have any elevations, photograph elevations?
I do not.
All right, I don't know if it's gonna matter much. It's not like you can put the array somewhere else.
No, we really can't.
And what's the KW rating of the whole array?
The entire system's going to be a 7.29. We're using 405 watt panels and we're putting on 18 on the house.
What's the offset?
90.
How much electricity are you offsetting in a year?
Yeah, hang on 1 second. 93%. Please hold.
Sure.
97.83%.
As good as it gets.
How far do these panels protrude off the roof?
About 2 or 3 inches. It's not that far at all. And actually, I can get a superimposed panel and email it if you'd like tomorrow morning.
You actually have that information on your literature, or let's put it this way. first comment I make when I look at these things is because it's a pitched roof, it can be no higher than 6 inches above the roof surface. And you've shown in one of your, I think it might even be that one, right above. You want to zoom into that one up top?
Oh, yeah, hang on a second. Let me zoom. Please hold. How do we zoom? We're zooming? Oh, I'm so sorry.
You may right click and it may ask you to zoom in.
It's not giving me a zoom option. Let me exit my full screen so I can make this bigger for you.
Okay,
6-inch max.
so there's my answer. So
There you
that's
go,
why
6 inches max.
I didn't question it during the month. Once again, at this point, I don't think the array can be sent or affixed any other way. In fact, the fact that almost the whole roof is covered with cells is in my opinion a good thing, because it kind of will offset the look you're going to get out of the corner of your eye of those panels being up there.
Correct.
Why can't more panels go on the back and less on the front?
The front is getting a better offset for the customer and better production.
Because it's facing south.
Yes, it's south and southeast. So it's definitely a south facing roof. That's the better roof. These are going to be the back of the roof faces more northwest.
If it's 97% offset average over the year, wouldn't you be feeding into the grid at certain points on like a really bright sunny day?
Typically after it'll offset itself over the months, because obviously there's more sun in actually there's a lot of sun in the summer, but less offset because of air conditioning and other electricity being used. So in the fall and the spring, typically that's when it gets higher production, and then it goes down in the summer and the winter, and it offsets itself.
Okay.
So it'd be better if we could see the front of the house, but what I know from this house is it's a very low house, so the house is also not set back from the street much. So
Okay.
these are going to be very visible by anybody walking past this house. Unlike other houses we've done where it's either, you can't see the panels or they're up 3 stories. These are really, in a part of the historic village. And this house is also listed on the historic register. It's really a big mass of panels like in the front. We have guidelines for the historic district. They do suggest that you put more on the back, and if you do it on the front, to use more the integrated panel system. So I don't know, that's my comments.
What's the architectural style of the house? Because I've seen solar panels go on the roof of like old Victorians and Dobbs Ferry, and it just looks terrible. Is this a Victorian or colonial or?
I really don't know.
All right, I think we should physically look at the
House.
house in either photos or an actual trip to see it. At this point, without having seen the elevations of the house in either in pictures or in drawings, I don't know that you're going to be successful tonight getting an answer. If you wanted to hold off till next month and come back with those photos or drawings, we would be able to take up the issue in better stead.
Okay. Is there a reason that the building department didn't request this in advance so we could be prepared?
I can't answer for the building department.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I
Okay,
guess I like to come prepared. I've actually made changes to plans at the last minute just to get this approved the first time. I don't like to come back, so I don't like to waste your time any more than I like to waste my own, so I'm sorry. I wish we
I
had
hear
more
you.
information up front so we could be prepared.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's in the historical district and it's not set far back from the road. I think we're being a little extra cautious. We normally are, we normally approve solar projects. We normally don't give solar projects a hard time. It's just given the historical nature of the neighborhood where this house is located, we're a little bit more nervous about it, I guess.
Understood.
We look forward to seeing you at next month's meeting with either the photos or the elevator historic.
There was a resident raising their hand to make a comment.
Let me guess. We're not opening the public hearing, so we'll have to wait till next week. So that's when public comment is to be made at a public hearing. So we're not even opening it. So I'm not going to hear it. Okay. Okay.
What if the person that has a question, maybe the person that is presenting will need to bring information back to satisfy the resident?
Do I open a public hearing? Okay,
I would say let's just do it and get it over with.
to listen to a concerned resident, I will open a public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Public hearing is open. Please feel free to bring in the,
Nikki Connington.
oh, I knew exactly who it was.
Oh, you guessed?
Oh, easy. That was an easy one.
Okay, well, as you know, I am in support of solar generally. I have black on black panels on my own house around the corner from the property in question, about the same size. However, I do think that given the historic character of the house, the small size, the closeness of the street facing roof, you should proceed with requiring photos of the panels of the system, especially from the street side. The street side does not face south, it faces east, and the rear of the roof faces west. Both sides have some tree impingement on the solar capture. I just think it's a good idea to keep up your standards about appearance and make sure that that Trinity's calculations are correct in terms of the productive capture of the productive potential of the system. That's all.
Okay. Thank you. And as I said to the applicant or the presenter, once we have those either photographs or architectural elevation drawings, we can be better able to make a decision on this particular application.
Sure.
Could we see some additional information on any shading analysis that Trinity Solar has done?
I can absolutely have that for my next meeting as well, definitely. I mean, I have it in front of me, but I don't have it on the screen.
Okay. I think the shading analysis and pictures of the house would be extremely helpful, just so we can understand the design of the array and the placement of the panels.
Sure. The shading analysis is not going to necessarily be part of the plans. It'll just be an additional document. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, great. Okay, great.
Oh, okay. So I will make a motion to continue this till next month. Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Thank you. Sorry for
Okay.
the delay.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a good night.
You too. And I understand there's still, actually, I will make a motion to close the public hearing. All in favor?
Second,
Well,
yeah,
okay.
all in favor, aye.
Okay. You said,
Yeah,
the applicant of this, the project, the application, the applicant of
For 34.
of 2105
Yes.
wants to be heard.
Yes, because he's saying there was some miscommunication. He's here only just to represent what he for the fence, or not fence, railing and staircase, and there was no changes from the last time. And he's here and he would, if you would allow.
Let him up. I don't know whether we're gonna do anything with it, but
And I'll put the minute, thing for them after.
with the what?
The minutes, I'll get the sheet from upstairs.
Okay, all right. Mr. Steinschneider,
Good morning. How are you?
good, how are you? You're still in my.
I'm
that's my
hoping I'm
normal-
okay.
my
Yeah,
normal res-
you don't always what.
I said that's how I ask, greet somebody, good morning.
Yeah, well, it's always morning somewhere. Yeah, there was probably confusion on my side. I got mixed up with the dates when it was changed in August to September. So we had submitted for the August meeting, but then we missed that when it was held at the beginning. We haven't changed anything on those drawings. What I think got confused is we did make another submission for the fence, but that wasn't submitted in time for tonight's meeting. So our idea was we were coming in with the fence at the next meeting, but we'd be able to handle the railing and the small section of stairs that go from the deck down to grade now, so they can finish that on the house.
All right, why don't you show us what you got?
Okay, are you seeing the screen?
Yes,
Okay, I'll start at the beginning. I've probably got a lot more than what you need to see. I'll skip over that stuff and get to what actually pertains to this. Here's the first floor plan on the house. We've proposed adding a half flight of stairs over on this side. We cut the deck back, exposed the wall so that the stairs could come down from the deck, go down to grade. The net on this was a reduction in site coverage. So that was not an issue for any of those issues. This kind of blows that up so you can see what it is. The stair from out to out is 3'10" wide. And it's basically a half flight, a little bit short of that. It comes down on a slope. So what we've done is we've used some large boulders to stabilize the hillside below the stairs. Basically, they'll be able to walk off the stairs and have a path down to the lower level. Here are the elevation sheets of this. I've got them in larger scale. Actually, while I've got these on, I also mention the original approved plans had vertical steel balusters, and what they would prefer to use is glass. The shape, size, structure, and everything of the railings on the house are the same. It's just that instead of the vertical panel or the vertical balusters, it's proposed as glass with clamps. Everything is in black. I've got some photos that actually can show what that looks like. But here, you see the stair coming down on the side here. And if I turn here, this is again showing those the railings with glass instead of the vertical balusters in metal. And you've got that short section of stairs that comes down here with the large boulders stabilizing the hillside. That's pretty much, I mean, here's detailing for how the stairs are to be built. The stairs, railings, treads, everything match the deck and the railing on the deck that's already built. Here's kind of showing on the larger scale of that. Very, very clean line that fits with the aesthetics of the house. And then this is just showing, here's the detail of the metal framed railings and what it looks like with the clamps holding the glass in place. There's a 2.5 inch base, space at the bottom of the glass. It's open on the sides and it's held in place with the clamps. I don't know if there's anything else on that you need that gets in the fence, which we're not talking about tonight. Do you want to see any photos of the house?
I think the elevations were good enough unless somebody else wants to see it.
I'm fine.
No, I think the architectural elevations are fine.
Okay.
Anything else to add?
Nope, that's what we're doing, and any questions or anything you guys have.
Okay. I looked at this the last time and didn't have any issues with it. I will ask the rest of the board if there's any issues.
No.
No, all good.
All right, I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
I,
Okay, thanks, Patty.
Appreciate that very much. Thank you. I'll surrender the screen.
Okay. Okay, I don't have anything else to add other than if you wanted to know how that meeting went with the Board of Trustees, I would go on there on the village's website and there's a place that says watch a meeting or something like that and just
Okay.
watch it. It was I believe it was it wasn't a regular meeting, it was a work session, so you
Okay.
want to find out how that went, you can do that. Anything, any other issues, questions, concerns?
No.
No.
I will make a motion to adjourn.